pledge of allegiance.
Let's pray. Father, we're thankful for today. We're thankful for blessings of life, Lord. We're thankful for the opportunity you give us to be here tonight, Lord. Just ask you that everything done, said here, be according to your will, Lord, and we deliberate the business to the county. Ask you to watch over and care for us and give us safe travel back home. We ask all things in your name. Amen. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I guess, the first thing we need to do is elect the officers, it'll be the right thing, but I know we met once since, September. But I don't think anybody done that then, did nobody like to offer? So I think the nominations for chairman. Keith.
Second.
All right, any other? All in favor?
Aye.
Nomination for co-chair or vice chair?
Nikki Moore.
All right, get a second here, second.
Second what I'm doing. He showed that you gotta do that.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And finally, secretary. Any nomination for secretary?
Patricia Underwood.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, so
Thank you.
thank you all. I guess first thing on the agenda is a fire truck. There's been some discussion over the fire truck, and at one time we was going, been brought up to give some other departments that everybody been contacted and all that throughout McHenry County and all that. Since then, there's been some interest in maybe keeping a fire truck within the county. Mayor, you want to speak on that in here?
Well, let Chief Stone speak the first, that, yeah, he,
I don't know, you got, I got a letter, and I don't know if you read the letter that we proposed to y'all. And that's pretty much where I stand today yet, is that it would serve the county and the needs of the county best in their locations. And also would serve the communities very well too. So I still stand behind that geographically, that would be the best interest for McHenry County and the residents of McHenry County. That's where I need the water. And for future ISO ratings, that is some of the places that I need it. I don't really see that I need it in the middle of the county with the resources that we got here. I did reach out to some people, and I haven't been able to meet the people to really discuss the needs that they have. So, with the information I got, I still stand behind it as the best interest of McHenry County.
And one thing I will comment on is if there's correspondence between departments or anything to this nature, let's leave a paper trail and do.
Yeah, we done all my email from this.
Do email from this point
Yes.
forward. That way it's no, he said, she said, it happened, it didn't happen, whatever.
We'll have that done.
You would copy me on it, any kind of correspondence, that way we're all in agreement and kind of, we know about everything that's going on and we know what's going on, that way we make a educated decision that everybody was in the loop on and everything like that. So,
And we will do that, and we've done discussed that in the office already, so that will happen from now on. Everything will be done through email.
yeah. I know a phone call is
I understand.
little, you can prove it, but it's a
Yeah.
little tougher.
It is, I understand.
Copy everybody on the email.
We can do that, sir.
Chief, the night that we had the first initial meeting, I understood exactly where you stood, and I understood that there were outside fire departments that would work in a reciprocal way, if that's correct. That's what was proposed, I think, at that meeting, is that correct?
I think that you're talking about the outside departments that.
Yes, sir, outside the county.
Yes.
And I wholeheartedly agree with that, but the question that I had was to solidify that it was outside the county and there hadn't been a contact or an effort, and I think your letter does say that there has been an effort. I don't know to what detail. And I went so far as in the subcommittee to make the motion because I based it on the fact that I didn't think, or I did not understand that there was any needs that had been contacted or conveyed either way. One way or the other, I don't know that, but where I was basing my motion was based on the fact that there was not any needs inside our county. Municipalities are not. I understood that those are tax-paid county property, and they were deemed as surplus or additional, or whatever the terminology is. What is the terminology of said equipment? What is it, surplus?
Could be.
We could be surplus, or it could be, yeah, it could be surplus. I had reserved trucks that I didn't immediately have a need for, and we could put them in strategic geographic locations that could come back and help McHenry County out in a huge way. And at the same time, help the communities out that we have automatic aid with, that have been helping us out in the past and will continue. So in a way, I could really help them in return. They could help me in the rural areas on the outskirts of McHenry County, on the northeast and the western part of it. In the central location of this area, which that letter there will tell you that I have reached out, and some of them have called me back now. Mickey called me back today, and they're standing with me that I am where I need to be with these trucks. And again, I haven't yet had anybody come to me as of today and reach out and tell me, I've called, but this is the equipment we've got, this is what we've got, this is what we need, and this is what it would do. I had talked to Anthony. I called him personally Friday, I think, and I reached out to him, but then when I get the letters and everything, well, there's a need in Selmer, but we're gonna house their truck in Easton. It just things I need people to come in and tell me, well, if you need a truck and they've got 2 engines down, a tanker can't take an engine's place. So, there's a lot of misinformation that's not coming to me, and it makes no sense to me. So when I look at it as an operational system across McHenry County, what I said before still stands, and I did reach out to people. Some of them didn't return the phone call. I get that. And some come in later, at a later point, evidently talked to you, but they did not come to me. And some of them haven't talked to me yet to this day.
Well, I want to echo the importance of communication, whether it's here tonight or every day, or we're talking about Ag Event Center. Communication is vital. And again, I'm going to echo what you said. I stand on the fact that, and let's clarify, is it 1 tanker or is it 2?
2.
It's 2, okay. I stand on the premise that the question and the motion that I made was based on that all of our county have been contacted, and based on what I'm understanding, that maybe there was an effort, but not all were contacted, whether it be by phone or even, they just didn't get it, there just wasn't a communication, there was a lack of communication. I think that's the way I want to say that.
It was every effort made to make
Robert,
that.
I don't dispute that. Please understand, I'm not here to dispute that, okay? I'm telling you why I did what I did, and I'm standing on the same premise that if we did not have a need in the county, I made the motion to make it happen.
My
Do you remember that?
I spoke out of turn. My apologies.
No problem. Thank you. But if I'm hearing this correctly, there have been some needs that have come to the top, is what I'm seeing and what I'm reading.
Well, what is the real need? I mean, the fact is, if we put the tankers where Chief Stowe suggested we put the tankers, we have no fire plugs, we have no tankers in one of those places, and we need that equipment in those spots if we're going to have the ISO. When you go from Rose Creek Fire Department to Hornsby, there's nothing there. There's no fire hydrants, there's nothing out there.
I understand that.
And,
Well, with that said, and again, I wrote you a very nice letter tonight, trying to reach over the aisle to make these things work.
Yes, sir.
It has been an effort on my part. In good faith, I did make an effort. In good faith, I have all the cities of McNairy County. I consider all of them as my, well, I shouldn't say my friends, but I will work with every one of them. I reach over to them. But to say that they have come back to me with a need, that they need them, that has not been, that need has not been made to me today yet. You know, just like Eastview, I don't know how much equipment they got, but they possibly may have a couple of tankers and an engine and a ladder truck. You know, setting another tanker there, from my standpoint, there's no need. And not just me, it's echoed by some other people that I didn't think would ever echo that today, but called me today and said, Chief Stoll, you're correct, I stand behind this decision and that you're making. And for operational, how is another tanker at Eastview gonna help me? Now, Elvis could have come to me, and I did reach out, did try to get Anthony for them to reach out to me, because I did reach out. I don't feel like they want to talk to me. And so I'm looking at the operational. How is a tanker from Selmer has a need of it in Selmer, but how is that going to reflect in Eastview? If they already have these trucks, who's going to run them? Who's going to bring them out? And I listen to phone calls, radio calls every day just like they do. And I don't see any way possible today for them to put that tanker in operation. It's going to sit there, in my opinion, just my opinion, could easily be wrong, in my opinion, there's no way. But in helping the county immediately to where we want to be in 2026 when we get audit and go for the next rating, I see a place where I can put it where it will help Hornsby and Enville, which have no tankers, engines blowed up and don't have one, and they'll come immediately back and assist me back in the rural areas of McNairy County. And I'm worried about my county, our residents. We have a tanker at Station 1 right now. We have an engine at Station 1. We have 3 full-time firemen here in the city of Selmer for some time now, but the city of Selmer is not using Station 1 as automatic aid to anything. So I look at the whole system, Hollingsworth, I'm looking at it from an operational standpoint. Where are these trucks going to do me, our county, our residents, your people, our people, where is it going to back and benefit? And again, I stand that this is where it's going to benefit McNairy County. I called David Miller, that's over ISO, and he agreed with me. That is the place they need to be. Now, geographically, there would be better location, but I don't have a fire station there, or I don't have a place to house it, or I don't have the manpower at Big Eel Pond to put an extra tanker in because they don't have the manpower in a rural area. So I'm not disagreeing that there's not geographic places that I could place it better, but I don't have the manpower or the housing to put it there. So this is the best options I got to place them at to come back and benefit us.
Chief, I can't dispute or deny, I can't argue the facts, I can't, as far as what you deem necessary in the operational side. As I understand it though, these 2 tanker trucks are McNairy County's. They belong to McNairy County.
That's correct.
And you have a couple of fire departments, Enville and Hornsby are both volunteers, is that correct?
That's correct.
and no, they're all volunteer.
They're all volunteer, that's correct. I just, again, I'm gonna say what I said when I opened this. My motion was based on the fact that all of McNairy County had been contacted and there was not a need in the county for those 2 tankers.
So,
I don't care who gets them, I don't care where they go. But from where I stand, if McNairy County has a need, McNairy County, because they're in our possession or our authority or our ownership, I feel like it's my obligation. I do mean you no disrespect, because I don't know the operational ins and outs and who does what, who goes to calls, this first one, second, third, I don't know any of that.
Well, I would agree with you if there's a need, but nobody's yet come to me and made an argument or that there is a need, so that's where I'm at.
So
If
you're
there
saying-
is a need in McNairy County,
That's, I mean, I'm reading, I don't know when these are sent, I don't know. There's
well,
no-
did you read through it?
Yes, sir, I
Okay.
did.
They got 2 engines down in Selma, right?
That's what I understand.
And 1 tanker. then they want to place the engine, the tanker, which cannot take an engine's place, so,
I
right?
agree.
So the only place it can take is the tanker that's down in Selma, right? And you're gonna place it at Eastview. Now, how is that fulfilling the need of Selma?
Well, it's 4 miles and Selma's got a full-time fire station.
Selma can't go up and pick up the truck, so who's gonna bring the truck?
Sir, I can't get in, I'm,
Well, I'm asking, I'm trying to make the word is a need. I'm trying to comprehend this in my mind, the need. If it's a need, then I would love to give it to them. But I want to make a legit need. And that's the question. I have yet to have anybody come answer me and say, hey, I got a need.
are you telling me to this day, no one has contacted you?
The only person that contacted me,
You just said nobody has reached out.
nobody has reached out to me other than Bradley Gray that needed that tanker. And he wanted it for a reserve. I got that letter that Larry got that for this need. And that's the first I knew about a need in this county.
Wait a minute, you just said that you didn't, now you're saying that
No.
Bradley Gray, I don't see a letter here from Bradley.
No, Bradley Gray wanted a reserve. That was all back a long time ago. And I told Bradley Gray, I don't have a tanker, just put it in a reserve for guys. I never said that. I never had anybody contact me. I said there was not a need in way back. I mean, I'm sorry if I did. That's what I remember.
Chief, if we give this truck to Hornsby, what Philip I alluded to first time, is there anything, I assume that you're saying that Hornsby comes and helps McNair County?
Yeah, automatic aid.
Is there anything in writing saying they have
That,
to, or?
we would put a new one in place for them, where they would come. Yes, it would be.
Because you do have Rose Creek down there, and I know it's pretty well full, you couldn't store another one there. but-
Yeah, and they don't have the manpower to operate another one.
Right.
How did we generate 2 tankers to begin with?
We got 5 new tankers to the ground since I've been here.
Thank you.
And that's how we generate these.
So I guess my question is, if we know Selmer has a tanker down, and where are you gonna store the tanker?
For right now, since weather's getting cold, I'll have to take it to Eastview. When I can get one of my trucks back up, I've got one engine down in the building at 911. They've got the seats out of it, they've got it in the park, it's taking up 2 bays. I've got another one at the North Station. But as quick as I can either get one fixed or I take one completely out of service, I'll bring it back. Now, as far as ISO credits, I won't get it, but I can take a tanker. I've done it before. I've done it out in the county. They've got 500 gallon a minute pumps at 95 PSI. I can run 2 inch and 3/4 lines off of it. I can fight a house fire. It's not the best way, but it can be done.
I guess my concern is I represent the 6th district, which is the city of Selmer and the city of Eastview. And so if they have a fire and we don't have a tanker, my constituents are gonna be looking at me going, why did you give a tanker to 2 other counties?
This is what I want you to read thoroughly through. If Selmer was in need of a tanker, then why is 3 mayors signed on there that this is a community project and it's gonna go all the way to Mickey and Eastview and Selmer? If Selmer has the need, I get it. Then it should have been, Andy Carr should come to me, which he hasn't yet. I've talked to him 3 times to meet with me. He hasn't met with me today yet. And to discuss these issues and see where the need is. I can't make a meeting to not come to. If this is what Carr wants, then why is there 3 signatures on this? That's my
It
question.
sounds to me like we're more concerned, I mean, this is just me taking it, we're more concerned about not necessarily the need in the county, but getting these put where we want.
No, it's-
That's because there's been a need, we have letters of whether they're gonna share it, however that's gonna happen. But it sounds to me like we're more concerned about getting these in places that we think we need them. I mean, and I'm fine with that, but I think if that was the mindset, we should have came in and said, not said anything about donating to the residents of the county and said, hey, we need to put these at these 2 locations to get our best ISO rating. And I would have been fine with that, but if we have fire departments inside the county that's saying they need them, what, I mean, who's to say what the need is?
But that's what I am telling you from from get-go, this is what I needed for ISO.
That's not the way it was, it was portrayed to us that you were checking with the county first, but it seemed to me like, from what I'm hearing, that it was all, the whole purpose was to get them in Empel and
Well,
Horton.
I'm glad to give them to a department in the city first, if there's a need of it. If they can tell me there's a need, that they have a tanker load up or something and they need it for ISO purpose or for water suppression or for whatever they need, I was wanting to meet the cities in that area first. I did not get nobody to respond other than guys.
But we have a letter here that says that Selmer has a pumper down.
This is after the fact, after last commission, when he tabled it, then they come back and wrote a letter to Larry, and that's the first I knew about this. You understand where I'm coming from?
Let's back up a minute. We talking two spare tankers. We talking about one of them or both of them?
Well, both of them I would like to, but, I mean,
of
they're talking
them,
about
okay.
one.
Now, which, you put one in service.
That's right.
And which one was it?
That's from Pleasant Side to State.
Now, let's clarify something. It's a pumper tanker thing. It's a pumper and a tanker. They still have a tanker. It's basically one of the county style tankers. They remount another truck, so they've still got a tanker. Or I know every town in the county has tankers. Every county fire department has tankers except for City of Atchison. Correct?
I had a chief call me today, and you know, he don't understand what's going on either, and it's, I don't want to throw people under the bus, but there's people that are representatives that don't represent this. Doesn't represent this piece of
I
paper.
don't want you to understand that they don't have a tanker. They've lost a pumper tanker, which is a combination pump classified, carries 2,000 gallons of water. In fact, it can be used as a pumper too.
And also, I asked Steve to go and call everybody in the county to find out if there was a need, and he came to me and told me that he called Anthony, and he asked to meet with Anthony, and Anthony told him. He said, I'll check my schedule and get back to you. And Steve didn't tell him about the tanker at the time, but that's what he wanted, because he'd asked Anthony for the information about his fire equipment that he has in Selmer, so that we could communicate that to ISO, because the ideal situation here is for us all to work together and all be on the same page. And, you know, that's kind of far from happening. We can't fill up a tank truck in the city of Selma. We have to go to Buffalo Springs. If we do a host test or something like that, we can't fill the tank truck up in a hydrant that we want.
Without permission.
Without permission in Selma. But we have to drive all the way to Buffalo Springs to do that. But Steve,
What would be that rating then? What, Sheriff, somebody, what would be that rating?
Chris has a copy of it. That's a ruling from the comptroller's office. She's got a copy of it, and Chris has got it. I don't
So
have
if
it.
we ever denied the county from filling up in Selma,
You just, there's some protocols to it.
have we ever denied the county from filling up?
I'm asking Chief Garvey because I'm not.
I've talked to Sherry about this since she's been elected. You know, it's an issue.
Who makes that decision? Who makes that call on whether we can or can't fill up in Selma?
Chris Grisham.
As you do.
Superintendent.
As
As
you
you
do.
do.
They're like that ruling out there, but none of the rest of the city.
Okay, so that's the authority figure in Selma to decide whether the county can fill up a tanker in Selma.
Well, yes. We've been working on that a little bit ever since Mr. Richard passed away. We had that issue going on when I became elected, just like Mayor says.
Would there be any reason why we couldn't?
We can, I'll check on it again. I don't deny that, you know, we would not want to work with y'all. That is not anything that we would not want to do. We want to.
We're off subject here.
Let me take this one step further, and I've told Steve this. Yeah, I've got another tanker, but there was one that he called for a tanker, and my other tanker was down. Anytime 911 or the county calls for us, I don't care if it's at Wolf Pen, if we've got somebody available, I'll send them. Now, here's the advantage to it. We're paid. Within 2 weeks, I'm gonna have 2 more full-time people. I'm gonna have 9 full-time paid. I got 20 part-time paid. You could wreck a truck at any time, a truck could tear up, but we're in a mess right now. We've got a plan. If I was to get 2 trucks from the military tomorrow, it's 13 months before I can start them. Last Friday, when Steve called me, I had to call him back. I'm looking at cabin chassis out of Canada. But until I could get these trucks back up, 2 of them back up, to sell them or trade them, I can't do nothing. But right now, I've pulled my reserve engine out. It's a 84 Ford. My other truck, like I said in the letter, I just paid a prominent mechanic here $10,000. He didn't do what I told him to do. Truck's down, he ain't gonna stand behind it.
So I don't think we'd be where we are right now. There ain't nobody on this board against anybody on a fire department or anything. Well respected, thank the world of, thank you for what you do. None of us want to see anyone, I don't care if it's Selma or guys, whatever, in the county is against any fire department. But the communication issues, I don't know what's going on and don't care what's going on. We wouldn't be here today if the communication had been fixed. Because I think the right thing to do would, anywhere in the county or city, would be to have a, hey guys, what do you need? Well, let's get it up and let's go. The communication part of it, we're gonna have to do. It's not a, if he, she, blaming here, blame, it's not it. That's not helping the citizens. We're here for the county. We're not here for personal agendas or nothing else. It's for the county. And we wouldn't be here tonight making this decision or under false pretenses, calling for something else before the county commission if guys would communicate. Whatever that communication may be, let's act like adults and communicate and work this stuff out. Now this stuff filling up, all that's mine, who cares? All that's minute. That's beyond the point. But it's junk that like that is, there shouldn't be no infighting. Guys, we're just McNairy County. I don't care if you're Selma or guys, Eastview, I don't care. We're McNairy County. And for whatever we gotta do, let's work together. Now, I don't like I said, I don't care what the issues have been in the past, whatever. That's fine. But let's work it out. Okay?
Well, Chairman, can I say something? After the night when y'all talked about the fire truck, I came back and asked, and that's when I was saying, did they reach out to, not saying I'm going down that road or anything, and that's why I was creating a letter, so that we could see if there was needed Mickey or Eastview. That's, kind of like where the letter came after the fact. So, when I was at y'all's meeting last, and when Commissioner Phillips said, well, let's just revisit this, and McCullough, Commissioner McCullough, so I just thought I would just ask. So I apologize for the after fact.
I want to do what's right for the county.
I know you do. We do.
And that's everybody, whether that's reducing everybody's ISO or getting a tanker up and going, maybe it may be something we have to delay for a little bit, not count it as surplus and put it stationed there. I don't know. But hopefully we can get that figured out. And we got 2 of them, so hopefully we can do something to accommodate both sides. There ain't no sides, it's McNairy County. So we just need to figure that out, whatever the best route is, right?
Yeah, and I feel like I've been in this for 6 years in McNairy County. I feel like I put my heart, mind, and soul in.
Absolutely, you have, thank you.
And I don't think anybody knows the operation in McNairy County any better than Chief Stowe does, all the way across the board. And I think I demonstrated I reached across the aisle more than once, and I've tried to make this thing work. And you're right, it shouldn't be about who's what city versus county. It shouldn't be there, not at all. And I'm the first to say that I'm ready to meet anytime, any day. And I've reached out to Carr, like I said, with last Friday 3 times, and still he hasn't come to me.
So you got 2 tankers now.
He's got
I've
one.
got 2 engines and 1 pumper tanker down right now.
Down.
Right now, down.
And what you ask, you want to take, well, explain what you're needing from these tankers.
I'd like to have the international tankers, what I'd like to have.
To use until you get yours up and going.
Well, what I would like to do at a later date, when everybody else gets all their stuff up, I would like to take it and remount it on a tandem axle truck to make a real tanker out of it. But like I said, when I found out y'all was gonna give the tanker, when I got a copy of the last county commission agenda on Friday, that was when I started calling y'all. I didn't know nothing about it.
So you're in need of it because you're down
Yep.
right now.
And then, like I said, I'm looking future out.
You're putting the citizens at risk because you're down
Right.
right now. That's yes.
But Chief
Yeah,
Stoll disagrees with that.
I'd like to say it.
I want to hear.
You want to hear it? You want to hear it? If that is true, what he just said, and I don't want to ever say somebody's not saying the truth. I feel bad saying that. But if that's true, what he just told you, then why in the world is there 3 city mayors on that copy? If it's, Selmer is in need of that tanker, then why is there 3 signatures from 2 other mayors and going to East?
Maybe you need to ask them.
Yeah, that's
I've
what-
asked.
You got something to say.
I asked 3 times.
Well, you're asking us, I don't,
I asked
I've
3
got
times.
something to say.
Yes.
He said he reached out to everybody. He has never yet contacted me, never yet mentioned anything about those trucks to me whatsoever. Now, stand there and call me a liar, Steve. Stand there and tell me you called me. You've never reached out to me about anything.
That letter that I wrote is God's honest truth. And I will go to my grave saying that's the truth.
Well, I'm going to echo Mr. Butler on behalf of Mickey. Mickey, as far as I'm aware, was never contacted. Short of today, a Facebook message was sent to our fire chief, and I do believe our fire chief did get in touch with Chief Stoll today. But as far as City Hall or email, any kind of correspondence never did reach the city of Mickey at the city level in reference to this issue. And that's as plain as I can put it.
If you want to bring in Mickey.
The only thing I heard from him was back several months ago when he was doing his ISO. He came to my office, pulled papers down on the desk of my secretary, said have Elvis to sign those and get them back to me by tomorrow. And I told her to call him back, tell him to hold his breath till he got them. If he couldn't come talk to me, I ain't got no business with him.
Let me make another statement. There was some stuff that got told at the December meeting. There was a letter wrote and sent to my mayor. Guy Buck took it up on himself, and we had a meeting at 911. Stanville was there, I was there, Elvis was there, Mickey was there, David was there. They was a room full. Alan was there. We all voiced our opinions, but I had to leave because I had to go physical therapy. But my understanding, that meeting went, am I correct, Guy?
First off, it was, as the chairman of the 911 board, there were concerns about the working relationships between the county and the municipalities within McNair County. So we tried to have come in, everybody has, it was not a productive meeting. The word has been used several times, and I don't have a dog in the sign, but the lack of communication is where the problem is. Who's to blame? I can't tell you. I can tell you right now, though, that there is animosity between the municipalities and the county fire department. Where that stems from, I don't know. I don't deal with it other than as the chairman of the 911 board. But until they are dealt with, it's never going to get better.
And the reason that the other 2 cities is on this, Elvis had a little tanker. His little tanker was down for over 2 months. Mickey's nearly in the same boat we're in. They've got a truck that's got to go to Middle Tennessee to be rewired. They've got an engine down here beside the 911 building that Brady Mountain's been working on. There was a problem with the injector pump and the gears and the engine, and their new truck, which is the same motor that I have, it's blowing oil filters off of it. So there's 2 reasons why. Like I said, I don't have a place to put it right now. If it's at Eastview, we can get it where it needs to be. I have the combination of getting his building. A lot of his members are Mickey members. Some of the Mickey members work part-time for me. As far as getting there and getting the truck and getting it back, that ain't no problem. But back to what I told Steve last Friday. If we're called and we're not on the structure fire or bad wreck, we're going to be there and we're going to have an 8-minute advantage over anybody else, because we're paid. We got people sitting there.
No, remember, we gave Mickey a tanker too, now it wasn't the caliber tanker these were, but the first tanker we surplus, we gave it to Mickey. Is it in service now, sir?
No, it is not. It has not been for, I couldn't tell you how long. Last time I remember seeing that truck was at the Battle of Shiloh reenactment, I think 5 years ago.
So you have a need for a tanker.
Yes, sir.
I talked
Mr.
to,
Carr, you have a need for a tanker. Thank you.
I talked to Chief Tyler today, and he said he's not in need of any tanker or any truck.
Have you got it right?
No, sir.
He's not here, so.
Well, if he said that, I don't know. I know, like everybody talks about communication, I like using plain talk and talking in words that all folks understand. I know we've got several pieces of apparatus in the city of Mickey that are tore up. I agree with what Chief Carr said. We've got one that needs to go to Lawrenceburg. When you open the door, it looks like a map of a metro city in there with a wire that's strewn all across the cab. The new truck we bought is having issues with it. So, I mean, we do have issues. And like I said, that's as plain as I can put it.
As well as getting back to the paper trail. Email, all of us here got email, so they should, I mean, until last Friday, I didn't have nothing on anything hardly. So, I don't know if that's a telltale sign or what, but that way, he said, she said stuff ain't gonna happen, right? We got a paper trail and go back to it.
Yes, sir.
Well, I feel like if there's a need within McNairy County, that they need to stay within the county. That's why.
Can the city of Selma do the same thing? If they respond, can they do the same thing as that tanker sitting in Hornsby coming helping McNairy County out on lowering our ISO?
No,
They cannot.
they cannot.
If Selmer don't have a tanker, is it gonna hurt our ISO?
Selmer has tankers.
So the distance, well, I guess, question, the distance from here to Rose Creek,
Selmer can help this side of Rose Creek, but they can't help on the other side of Rose Creek, like Hornsby can. And I got a station, the tanker sitting right here in Selmer, that can also assist anything from Rose Creek in. So the need of water from Eastview or here or Mickey, which I talked to Tyler for a long time today, I had a very nice talk to him, not on email, unfortunately. It's inaccurate, I'm telling you. You can believe me or not believe me, I don't care. I'm telling you, that's what these trucks need to help McNairy County. If I had Carr come to me and say, Steve, I need a tanker,
Or a phone?
or a pumper, which the tanker would take the pumper's place, and I didn't have this on here, and he just wrote this letter, and he didn't come to me, I go, okay, I get it, maybe. I would have questions, I get it, okay, maybe a tanker can pump 400 some gallons versus, I don't know what he's got, most of his trucks run probably 1,000 gallon per minute pumps. The minimum for a Class 8 engine's got to pump 750. Most of them nowadays are 1,250 gallon per minute pumps or 1,500 gallon. All our new pumper tankers are 1,500 gallon per minute pumps in them. This tanker is like a 400 some gallon. It does not classify for a Class 8 engine. So it can pump water from that tank to a pumper. It cannot keep up with water going to a structure bar. It's not in operation of a tanker. If Carr wanted me to believe in the fact that he needed one, then I wish he would have come to me. But this letter would have done, all right, I need one for Selma. But when I get 3
what would you have done if he come to you beforehand?
if he would have made a need that he needed it and could have showed me a need for it, I'd give him a tanker.
So he's doing that tonight.
I don't think.
So because of that, you're saying you're,
I said he's not doing that tonight at all. This is all words. This is what he put together. This is a reality of Carr put together. And this does not reach the words he's saying tonight. This is talking out 2 different ways. And I don't accept that. Bottom line, I don't accept that. I will just as soon keep my tankers and put them out at Rose Creek. I don't have room, I got an old truck out there that I may be able to put in another building, and I'll work to build that department up and get that tanker out there where I need it, and look if I can't get the personnel out there to, in the next year or two, to utilize it where I need it.
So you would rather keep them instead of giving them?
That's exactly what they're
Is that
doing.
you're
They're
saying?
housing this truck at Eastview and not being used. That's exactly what they're doing.
Chief, let me clarify something. Let me clarify. I just asked, and they just verbally, and I'm sitting here looking at a letter, and you're telling me if these 3 signatures wasn't here and he would have approached in a different manner, it would have made a difference in your
If he
outcome?
was, if he was gonna use it in Selmer and put it in use in Selmer, then I get that he needs it. But he's not putting it in Selmer, he's putting it in Eastview.
I understand that's because of winter time's coming on. That's just what I got.
Do you need 3 signatures to make the house?
Steve, it's irrelevant on the signatures. We're talking about equipment and talking about getting it
I
somewhere.
just made you the argument to where I'm at.
I don't want to argue about who said what or where and the outcome. We're talking about putting two
I
tankers.
appreciate it. I gave you what I believe is the best for McNairy County. Y'all can make your final decision what you want to do. I appreciate your time. I'm not here to argue or fuss. I know what I need. I know where I need it. I know that ISO has also with me. I know Mickey Tyler is with me. I know many other chiefs in the county know that what I'm saying is true. And it's
Steve, I'm not calling, I don't dispute.
But
I'm
you
not-
are calling my integrity.
No, sir, I'm not. No, sir.
We're trying to make an informed decision, what's best for not only, we're trying to stay out of this county and city stuff, we're trying to make an informed decision, I think, for the entire McNairy County. I don't care if it's city or county.
I made the motion to do it based on the fact that there wasn't a need inside McNairy County. And you stood right over there and told me that you had reached out to all of them.
And
You
I-
didn't get a response from all of them, is what you told me.
I didn't get a response from all of them.
But I asked you, that equipment was going to be used, and there wasn't a need in McNairy County, and I made the motion to do so based on that criteria. And you're telling me that this letter, which is what you're saying, Steve, is this letter doesn't exist.
This letter came in since I told you in the last meeting, Robert, let me have it.
Please understand, I'm looking at
That
the
letter comes
facts.
in before the others, right? I
But you
reached out.
reference signatures on here. I'm sort of glad to see that the town of Selmer's got Sherry, she's on there as the mayor. And these others obviously have the same type issues. That's the way I read that.
And I just talked to a chief of a department that disagrees with that, sir.
Well, I don't see that, Steve. I don't see that tonight.
But it's true.
I don't dispute that, but I don't see it, sir.
Well, y'all.
Due to the confusion of this situation.
He's talking
I think this letter was emailed to the mayor, what, last weekend?
They brought it Friday.
I had delivered it last Thursday.
So it come in last Friday, first I seen it today.
That was the first time that we heard of any need
Friday.
from Selma.
What
Was
do you think?
was Friday when that letter showed up.
Well, sir, let me
That's-
ask- I want to
that's
ask
the
the
first time we've
question.
heard
If you have received that need, you're asking me to null and void that tonight. Am I correct in that?
Just because you didn't get it.
I'm asking you to consider the fact that we took every step possible to make contact with every municipality in this county
Yes, sir.
to ask that very question. That was a mandate that Chief Stoll made before we even started down this venture 3 months ago.
But it doesn't negate the issue that I've got a letter before me that substantiates there's a need in the county.
No,
That's
nobody's
understood.
saying that we didn't
That's understood,
communicate.
But that's coming in at the 11th hour, and now you're making it, now it's being made to look like it's our fault and that we did
Sir.
something incorrect.
I don't know what the issue is, and I really don't care at this point right now. I'm trying to do the best for McNairy County. We've got equipment, and I see needs in the county. Do I want to get them outside the county and have a reciprocal agreement? You dadgum right I do, but not before my county.
That's understood.
No, nobody's
And-
saying that, hey, I called so-and-so, they didn't have it. Nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying that. But it don't change the fact that, hey, in the last hour, somebody said, hey, guys, I got something, I need it. Don't give it away yet, I need it. That don't change that fact.
Right, but that what you just described did not happen. It did not.
But it's happening tonight.
It's
This is-
happening
this is where we
tonight.
are tonight.
It's happening tonight with a letter that just appeared over a holiday weekend.
I
This,
talked to Chief
this,
Carter 2
this
weeks
is the
ago.
first that we've heard about this, was this letter. Now, had somebody come to us last week and said, hey, wait, you guys are doing this, it would have been a whole different discussion with Chief.
And that's the thing, okay? That don't change the fact that, hey, guys, it may be needed in McNairy County now. We didn't know that a week ago, we didn't know that 2 weeks ago. But now, thank goodness, somebody said, hey, wait a minute, hold on. Keep us from having to buy something brand new, we may have something, if you're gonna give it away to another county, we may can use it. Hang on just a minute. Wouldn't that serve us all better? Wouldn't that say, hey, we're gonna save money by doing this?
Thank God we've got some surplus.
Yeah, it could be bad, guys, it could be worse. Thank you, Steve, for the job you've been doing. Thank you, fire department. Thank y'all, y'all do a wonderful job. Nobody's not saying that. But let's back up from, he said, she said, or we didn't know, or let's back up from that. What's best for the county? Now that we know, what's best?
That's what Steve's saying. If you want to lower the ISO rating, the best place is his recommendation. That's what he's saying.
And that's the reason I asked the question, could Anthony, because he sat back there and said a minute ago, he could do the same thing.
I want to know one thing, okay? Here's my question. You look around this room, third meeting I've been to, City of Adams, the volunteer fire chief does not participate in county meetings. Sheriff, when's the last time you seen Kenny Newton?
I've seen him socially, but I haven't seen him, no.
Okay. You know why? He's got more important things to do than deal with us in his personal life and his professional life. I reached out to him today to find out if he was contacted. He said no. Second question, do you have a need? No, don't have a need. Be great to go to Enville, be great to go to Hornet, be great wherever you want to. We don't need them. We don't need them in ours. We don't need anything from the county. We get nothing from the county. Now he bragged on Chief Stoll. I don't know what's happened here, but me that knows nothing about nothing, looks like we promised some surplus trucks out. We did not take the appropriate steps to contact everybody that might need them. Now we're mad because people have stepped forward in the county and said we need them. Now, if you don't need them trucks, I do not want you to have them. Mayor Inman, that's the way I feel. I do business with people in Enville. I've got friends in it. I've got friends to the west of us. But now, this is turned into being a peeing game that we're playing in between county or community fire departments and the county fire department. The city departments, community departments are not working with the county, and the county's not working. I don't know what needs to happen, but one of the best things the sheriff ever done, the hardest I've ever seen the sheriff work was at one of these meetings. Trying to get people to sit down, calm down, act right, communicate, not get mad. And here we are, 9 months later doing the same thing. I'd say if we can't come up with an idea, take the trucks to SMC. Draw you $200 in and put them in Steve's spot and forget about this. Don't ever have surplus ever again. It ain't worth it.
I'm gonna respectfully disagree with that last statement.
And I'm going to offer my apologies to the board. I'm not here to dispute what's best for McNairy County, and far be it from me to ever say that we should do something that would be against McNairy County. However, I am here to express my feelings in that as this is all played out, it's all come about to make the appearance that McNairy County Fire Department has done something inappropriate. And that is farthest thing from the truth, and that is about the only thing that I'm here to defend. Now, you gentlemen can make your decisions as to what you do with that truck. But I want it to be known, we took every step possible to make those contacts. That was one of Chief Stoll's mandates before we even started down this path. Y'all keep talking about the letter, and when did we know? And if there's a need in the county. Well, we didn't know about it until that letter showed up on Friday. In fact, I didn't know about that letter until Saturday when Chief Stoll called me to tell me about it. That's the first that we heard about a need within McNairy County for those tankers. Now, given we've been through 3 months of discussion and back and forth and letter acceptance from the municipalities that we were promising those trucks to after we had taken the steps that we did, I'm here to tell you right now, McNairy County Fire Department did nothing wrong in this approach to what we decided to do with those vehicles. That is the only thing that I'm here to defend right now. The rest of the decision is in your hands, gentlemen and young lady.
Chief Carter, did you reach out to Chief Stoll and tell him you needed it? Or was this letter the only way that he knew it?
Actually, I emailed the letter to Tricia. I don't know what happened to it, haven't heard nothing.
No, well, but here's
But
my
no, I didn't reach out to
So
Steve.
here's my point. And I'm just like these guys. I don't mind making hard decisions for the county. Don't mind at all. But when it becomes a pissing match and I don't like him because of this, or I don't like him because of that, I don't have time for that. And I know that you did approach Nikki, or so he was trying to say a while ago, not trying to take words out of your mouth. But I guess my point is this: if you need it, I'm glad that you approached your commissioner. But why didn't you tell him? Tell him. I know why you didn't tell him, because y'all don't communicate. That's why you didn't tell him. It's ridiculous. Absolutely, we're acting like children. None of us have time for this.
Well, the biggest thing, we're putting citizens at risk.
Exactly.
That's the biggest thing. That's
But
what
listen,
irks me.
A couple of months ago, I asked Chief Carter, and listen, I'm not trying to pick on you, but I'm just trying to prove a point that for some reason, county and city can't communicate. But a couple of months ago, we had an issue of, I don't know all the fire department numbers, but I think it was County 1 wasn't being called out, and you said it was because it wasn't on the list. And I said, so if it's not on the list from the state, does that mean if you call them out, then you're going to be reprimanded, like you're breaking protocol? And you said, no, not at all. I said, then why wouldn't you call them if they're the closest? Well, they're not on the list. I don't care if they're not on the list. If you're going to get reprimanded for breaking protocol because I can only call stations that are on the list by the state of Tennessee, if you're going to get reprimanded for that, I understand why you don't call them, but you said that's not the case. But yet you still weren't calling them. And this is what I asked you to do. I said, please work with Chief Stoll. I said, I'm not saying you're the one at fault here. I'm not saying that Chief Stoll's the one at fault. I said, but both of y'all are in charge of the 2 biggest fire stations we have in the whole county. Work together. That's all I'm asking. And that's what I'm asking here tonight. I'm glad that you reached out to Nikki. But what the first thing you should have done was called him. Why didn't you call him? I don't understand that. If I need something from Harvey Neal, I'm not going to go to my commissioner. I'm going to Harvey Neal. Go to the source. Listen, we're not full-time employees up here. We get paid $15 a meeting.
Get rich.
So my point is that we don't mind making hard decisions, but sometimes we're making decisions that if y'all would have acted right in the first place, we would never even be having this discussion.
That's right.
I guess that's the point I'm trying to make. Listen, I'm not hating on you, not hating on Chief Stoll, but you guys are going to have to work together. That's what it boils down to. And listen, we're not in this fight every day like y'all are. So really it's just going to be your word against his and his word against you. And it's just a matter of what side do we want to be on.
I don't like it. I don't like having to make a decision. We shouldn't be making a decision, really. About who gets what truck. Should be worked out.
Well, that's what I said earlier, it would've been worked out before. Should have never come to us.
This is not the only place we have this problem of
No.
selective communication. It goes on and causes lots of trouble in meetings, and we don't get nothing done because of that. Like he said, it needs to stop on all fronts. Not just fire departments, other projects.
So I guess, I don't know really what the best route to go, but I'd like to hear from everybody. Y'all may not be the only ones from what I gather. I'd like to hear from all the fire departments and all the municipalities inside the county before we give a fire truck away and see where the need is. I don't know, is that the right route to go? Or y'all the only ones? Evidently, animals don't need it. So what is the need throughout the county?
That's what it is. You got 10 tanks. All big. This committee shouldn't be making this decision.
Well, it's a county property, and it falls on us, unfortunately. Yeah, it falls on us, unfortunately. But I'd like to see an email from all of them throughout the county saying they don't need it. Or if they do, why they need it. An email. That way I can read it black and white. And it ain't no he said, she said. And it ain't no I wasn't contacted, or I didn't know.
Well, why don't you do this? Why don't you let Steve house the trucks? And if Anthony needs to borrow that truck, let Anthony borrow that truck. That way we know where it's at, whose it is, until somebody comes forward and makes it reasonable.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'd like to have that before next month. I'd like to have an email from them. I don't know who's gonna send it out. If it's gotta be the mayors or somebody can send that out to the county and the city municipalities. And in the meantime, fire trucks can stay where they're at right now. If Anthony, you gotta have it, let him know. You gotta talk to him. Let him know. Ain't nobody gonna turn that down. I promise you. But at the same time, you don't need to be calling Bethel when you got a fire down here. Call Station 1 out. Same thing he's talking about. That's been 3 months ago. We're talking about that. You putting citizens at risk when we're doing stuff like that, guys. We gotta work together.
Now, I want to address that. After Larry wrote the letter and sent it to the mayor, I went to 911 and I pulled the CAD sheets. The letter that he sent to my mayor was December. I went to 911 and pulled the CAD sheets and matched them up to my calls. September, October, November, and December. We had 14 structure fires here in the city. The county was used on 12 of those 14 calls. I gave Brad and Philip, a couple more, a copy of the stuff to share with you all, but there was a comment made that somebody went to 911 and fabricated them calls. I have a thing here from the CAD system. Guy can back it up. You can't go in and fabricate calls. Once they're in there, they're in that CAD system, and you cannot alter those calls. Week before last, we had 2 fires in the city. Walton was called, Rose Creek was called. I don't run 911, but the county is being used. I don't care what anybody says.
What about Station 1?
Station 1 normally comes, because before anybody gets en route, Steve's already on the radio since Station 1.
You know, there again, guys, we can nitpick this together, we can nitpick it out and lay blame here and there, but still, common sense, right? Call the closest fire station.
Again, I don't know what CAD is, I didn't check in on it. But Rose Creek and Lawton gets finished out, and they got a meeting, needs to go somewhere, we'll discuss this later. I sent Station 1 to assist Mike Hill. departments when they come to City of Selma. Station 1 is being seldom used as the first out station by City of Selma. Different fact.
But anyway,
Well, let me say, just to be clear, I wasn't trying to make an assumption that y'all weren't using county fire now, but I'm just going back to the meeting we had several months ago. And that's the reason why I was addressing it, because honestly, I hate that we even had to have that discussion. As long as you're not breaking protocol, I think we would always call. And when I say protocol, I mean like what the state mandates. As long as we're not breaking rules and laws, always should call the closest
Who
one.
calls out the stations?
911, and the CAD system picks it. 911, Dana cannot go in and alter the CAD. It has to be done from GeoConnect in Knoxville.
But Andy says the codes for who gets paid out for City of Selma.
The meeting,
Protocols are set by 911.
the meeting that we, I talked about, one thing discussed in that meeting was, like Bethel, I was asked the question, what two departments do you want to back you up on initial fire calls? And the most direct and the closest to Selma and the most direct county station is McNair. And that's who I told them to put. And that was part of the concept that we're going to ask every community town in the county who they wanted to respond. I don't know what anybody else did. I know what I did. Now, when the county goes, Station 1 becomes automatically to support whatever county station, is what I've seen. So,
I guess my question was, if 911 is making that determination, how do they know, I mean, obviously, but how do they know who to call?
it's in the system.
So then,
Correct.
the whole gist of the meeting that we had was that we had municipalities or county, whatever, they would say, page so-and-so out. And it was putting the dispatchers in a bad position because they might not necessarily be paging out the closest. And the whole point of the meeting that we had was we wanted to get away from that. We wanted everybody to go on record, just like David said, and say, if it's Bethel, who do you want? And that way, we're not putting the dispatchers in the middle of the fight. It's already on record who goes, just like Anthony said, it's in the CAD, who gets paged out. So it used to, the problem that was addressed at the meeting that we had 9 months ago, was that, say if Mickey, and I'm not saying Mickey ever did this, say if Mickey had a fire, they would say, page Eastview and Selmer. Well, the dispatcher would page Eastview and Selmer. Well, they might have I mean, just as an example, guys could have been closer or Samuel could have been closer. And that's not a real scenario. I'm just saying that was an example of what the problem that we addressed was that people didn't get along well enough to trust each other, to support each other, back each other up.
There's been two needs brought to the floor in Selmer and Mickey, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Motion to award surplus one of the tankers to Mickey and the other one to Selmer.
Second.
all right, got the motion on the floor. Everybody in favor? Say aye.
Aye. Call it again.
All right.
Need to do a roll call.
Yep.
Do a roll call.
Tricia?
Yes.
Philip?
Yes.
Terry?
I don't understand. I missed the first 10 minutes of this, 15 minutes of this meeting.
David?
No, not this time with the information.
Nick?
Yes.
All right, yes is, yes, gets it.
Four.
Can I have four for?
You gotta have 4 affirmative or 4 negative. Gotta have 4 votes, more majority. You have 3 and 1.
I'd like to see.
I'm gonna I'm gonna say no for right now, until we hear back from from everybody else, to make sure. Like I said, email.
Who's going to facilitate that, Commissioner?
I don't know who's got all the emails. Surely between the two mayors, we can contact the fire departments, all municipality and county fire.
Jessica, if Mayor Smith's gonna do it, just make sure he copies me and that way, or
And,
vice versa, whatever.
I'd like to hear back, just eliminate that.
Yeah,
We'll eliminate all that.
Absolutely.
That in form of a motion.
Yes, and with it being, the fire trucks stay where they are currently until we get that information back. And if there is a need that somebody else in the county needs that truck and it's set to spare, that they're welcome to come and get it and use it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No? So everybody, Tricia, no?
Yes.
Philip? Terry? Nick?
Yes.
Dave? I go again. All right. So motion carries, if the truck stays where they are currently right now, and if the city needs it, or anybody in the county needs it, they're welcome to them. Until we get that information back, the emails back saying if there's any other need throughout the municipalities or anywhere else in the county. Hopefully by next month. Right?
Let's have another emergency services committee meeting to deal with it.
Yes. Another emergency service committee will be had next month.
Any other further business?
Anybody else got anything?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.